Hello, Trinity family. Steve Price here, coming to you with a special video edition today of our weekly pastor's message. I want to begin by offering a word of encouragement and reassurance. Perhaps you've been feeling a little anxious recently. There are a lot of reasons to be feeling that way, some might say. After all, just in the last week or so, we've had financial markets that have gone down and down further, and then up a little bit, and then down, and then up some more, and then, at least as of right now, today, down again. There's also a political climate that seems in great turmoil and with lots of things changing every day. And then, of course, there is the concern about the global spread of the coronavirus. I want to remind you that our God is a God who is always with us, no matter what may be going on around us. Philippians 4 tells us to not be anxious about anything, but to turn all of our requests over to God in our prayers and our petitions. And then the promise that comes is that our God will give to us a peace that passes all understanding. This is the peace that I hope for you, and one that I invite you to be praying for yourself and for those you love in this time of uncertainty. I also want to make you aware that around here we have been talking a great deal this week about precautions we might need to take immediately and some that perhaps we might need to take down the road, depending on what happens with the spread of the coronavirus. So I wanted to tell you today about some things that you'll notice that will be different this week as we come to worship together, so that we might take appropriate precautions and be safe and care for one another's well-being and health. The first thing you'll notice is the way we are encouraging you to greet each other this week. We would ask that you not shake hands, that you not hug, or offer other signs that involve physical touch as one of the significant things that has been mentioned that can help prevent the spread of the virus is avoiding physical contact. And so instead, we would invite you to consider offering one another a different gesture of hospitality. The one that we'd like to suggest is that you put your hands in front of you in a praying motion and then perhaps lean in or bow toward the other person as a gesture of goodwill and hospitality and blessing for them. You'll also notice some changes around the time of communion this week. In fact, it is our time of communion that will serve both as our time for receiving offerings and also doing communion. So we'll be doing that a little bit different way, and I want you to see what that will look like this weekend. So as you come forward for communion this week, one thing that will be different is that while we have always had all the servers use hand sanitizer before they come to the table, this week we will be providing a means for everybody to do so. An usher will offer you hand sanitizer as you come out of your row and prepare to come forward. We encourage you to use that to be able to clean your hands so that you might then be ready to receive the bread and receive communion. You also will notice that we will have offering boxes spread throughout the space in places where you are coming forward. These will be recognizable to you because they're the boxes that we typically use on Sunday morning for our mission boxes. But for this week and perhaps several weeks beyond, they will be our boxes for receiving all of our offerings. That way we avoid, as the conference has suggested to us, passing offering plates and having lots of hands touch them over the course of that time of the offertory. And so we simply, as you come to the table and as you prepare to receive the gifts that God has for you, that you offer your gift at that time as well. And so if you have an offering, we would just invite you to simply place that in the box and then continue to receive communion. You'll place your hands out in order for the server to place a piece of bread in your hands, and then take that piece of bread and dip it into the cup in the manner that we call intinction. We have been in contact with an expert in our community in infectious diseases, and he has assured us that this continues to be the best and safest practice for how we do communion at a time like this. And so we encourage you to do that this week. Lastly, I just want to say again that you are in my prayers. Our whole church community and the community beyond Trinity is in our prayers. And I invite you to pray for all of us here that are a part of the staff team at Trinity as well, as we trust and remember that God is surely with us in this time, and we lean into a future that promises to be filled with hope. Grace and peace to you and to all of yours.